Good evening, baseball fans. What is going on? We have an update on the MLB Lockout. Could the Mets be looking to make some significant additions, both pitching and with the offense? We're going to talk a little MLB The Show. We now know the new cover athlete for 2022. Let's get into it. What is going on, baseball fans? Hello. Right around 50 people in the chat. What is going on, everyone? How are we doing? A lot of familiar faces I am seeing. Gamer 2.0, what's going on? Gabriel, Jack, one of our members, Zachary Goldstein, hello. One of our moderators, Southsider, what's going on, my friend? Yankees 286, hello. Chris, what is going on? Luke 22, hello. GGXTEGBR, hello, my friend. What is going on? Baseball Sports Talk, hello. Harold Kardashian, what is going on, my friend? How are we doing? Lionheart 70, hello, my friend. Welcome. What's going on, everyone? How are we doing? Today's Monday, right? Yeah, happy Monday night. Hello. Hey, we're just trying to get by this lockout the best we can, but we do have 3 stories tonight to dig into. I find it kind of lucky, kind of convenient that we somehow get all these little rumors, even though they can't make any signings right now. We're getting these rumors about free agency trades, and we got something on the Mets tonight. We're going to talk a little Shohei Ohtani being on the cover for 2022. I'm also going to look at some prior MLB The Show cover athletes and take a look, because we've always heard about that Madden curse, right? The Madden cover athlete curse. Is that really a thing with MLB The Show? We'll take a look at the prior cover athletes. And also, we're going to talk a little MLB Lockout. We got an update on that. Nothing really significant, but we do have a little bit of news on that. But before I do get started, hit that subscribe button, everyone. We're trying to get to 20K by opening day. Everyone, please hit that like button right now. It's going to help this get out there into the YouTube algorithm. I don't know why it likes the like button so much, but it does. Everyone, hit the bell notification. That way you get notified of all my streams and uploads. I will be uploading quite a bit over the next couple of weeks. I'm going to be doing my positional rankings as well as prospect rankings. You guys voted for that on the channel. I asked you all, which would you like to see more of? And you all voted position and prospect rankings. So we're going to dive into that over the next couple of weeks. Also, everyone, share any of the content if you can. So let's get into it tonight. Again, we're not going to be here very long. There's just really not that much to talk about. So let's just get into it, shall we? So first story, let's just get the most recent story out of the way. The lockout, it's looking like they're still a little far apart. I mean, maybe not a little bit, maybe quite a bit. But good news, they will be meeting tomorrow, according to Jeff Passan. Let's pull up the story. Here we go. Hold on a second. Alrighty, sharing the screen. So, according to Mr. Jeff Passan, Major League Baseball and the Players Association plan to meet Tuesday for the next round of collective bargaining talks. Look how sad oh my goodness, Foolish Baseball looks, and Fuzzy, I'm sure he is just as sad. But look how sad everyone is. We're all sad. We're cold. We're lonely. We just want this lockout to end. Can they please just figure this out? I mean, come on. I just can't wait for the lockout to end, not just because obviously it's annoying, but I just can't wait for just this wave of all the free agent signings and the trades that are going to happen, just like how we saw prior to the lockout when everyone was signing left and right. I think we're going to have the same thing after this lockout. I think it's going to be amazing because, hey, these guys, they want to know where they're going to be going, so especially someone like Carlos Correa looking to get a long-term deal. I'm sure he would like to get with his team as soon as possible, would like to have some spring training. So we'll have to see what ends up happening. But just to give you a quick update, just to kind of refresh a little bit on kind of what's going on with the offers from both sides. If we take a look at Major League Baseball's offer at the moment, so again, they will be meeting tomorrow, so I'm sure there's going to be some changes when it comes to their offer. But last week when we last talked about this, as of right now, one significant change that Major League Baseball they decided to offer was a bonus pool for the top players in pre-arbitration. But the bonus pool that they're offering is $10 million. We'll get to the Players Association here in a second. They're offering to increase the minimum salary to $615,000. They are saying there will be no changes in the arbitration system. They want a 14-team postseason, as well as a draft lottery for the top 3 picks. If we take a look at the Players Association, yes, these letters are a little smaller because they're looking for a little bit more. If we take a look, they also want a bonus pool, which is really good that both sides want this, that Major League Baseball was okay with having a bonus pool. However, the big difference with the bonus pool for pre-arbitration players is that Major League Baseball, they are offering $10 million, while the Players Association, they're offering they want $105. So MLB is offering $15 million. Sorry about that. While the players want $105. They're very far apart. They're going to have to really make up some ground in that department, but it is good that they both are okay with having the same thing. The Players Association, they want more minimum salary. They also want a $30 million decrease in revenue sharing for small market teams. They want these teams to start trying to, work a little harder to, maybe get some players to come in instead of just, giving these small market teams like the Pirates, who never want to spend any money. They want these teams to get less money. They want the luxury tax line to be a lot higher. That way it gives teams more flexibility to be able to sign players, and also to not just sign players, but to be able to offer players more money. They are okay with an increase in the postseason. However, they don't want it to be 14. They want it to be 12. And they are also wanting a draft lottery, but for the players, they want the top 8 picks. So, and also non-playoff teams. So we're going to have to wait and see what ends up happening tomorrow. They will be meeting tomorrow. So let me come back to you here. So they will be meeting tomorrow. Again, the fact that they are meeting, it feels like these meetings are happening more and more and more. Hopefully they can really build some momentum. It's looking like, according to some people out there, Ken Rosenthal, Evan Drellich, they wrote today on The Athletic that it's looking more and more likely that they're going to be missing some spring training games. We're going to have to see if it gets that far. Hopefully they can get this done by the end of February. I'm really hoping for that. However, I think what ends up happening is I think it definitely could get to that point. But I think the reason at this point, I think they're all okay with what each side want. I think that they both know those parameters. I think it's just going to come down to what is the final dollar amount going to be. Both sides are going to hold out as long as they can. Are they willing to give up regular season games? We'll have to see. I definitely think it could get to that point. Maybe you miss 20 games, something like that, and you end up having maybe like a 140 game season, something like that. We'll have to wait and see. I think it's going to come down to who is going to flinch first, who's going to, blink first. I think it's going to be who's going to be willing to let their guard down just a little bit to help get this done. We'll have to wait and see. But hopefully this is all over rather soon. Let's move on to our next story. Let's get all the boring stuff out of the way. Let's talk some free agency. Yes, we can't sign anyone. No one can be signed right now. No trades can happen. Minor league signings can happen. But, hey, it's always nice when you got something, some rumors, the rumor mill churning just a little bit, even though no transactions can be made at this time. The Mets, it's looking like they might be looking to make some significant additions after the lockout. Look at Steve Cohen. And this is one of my favorite pictures of Steve Cohen because he just looks like he's just ready to sign everyone on the market. That's one of my favorite pictures. But let's get to it here. John Heyman had the tweet today saying, have heard Mets might consider signing another significant pitcher and hitter once the lockout ends. So on top of Scherzer, Marte, Kana, and Escobar. If so, $270 million payroll could approach $300 million. Now, what do you mean by significant exactly? Are you talking, someone like Clayton Kershaw, Carlos Rodon? I definitely think Carlos Rodon could be a guy. For me personally, Carlos Rodon, he's had a questionable history of injuries. So, gonna have to wait and see. Will the Mets want to shell out the big bucks for Carlos Rodon? I don't know. I think the Mets need to worry about maybe adding some surefire options right now. They really lacked depth in the second half last year. We're gonna have to wait and see what they end up doing. To me, I feel like Carlos Rodon might not be the smart addition based off of his health. I think the Mets, they need to be getting guys that is a good chance they're going to give you innings. Also, there was also Pat Ragazzo. He said today, several sources I've spoken with believe that the Mets will prioritize pitching and depth. Everyone, ladies and gentlemen, that's music to my ears right there. We need to start seeing more of this, more depth being added to these teams. You got to remember the Mets right now, their farm system is about middle of the road right now on Fangraphs. They're ranked 15th overall. So they really need to add some guys that, some flexibility. I think adding Eduardo Escobar was a good signing because this is whoa! What is happening? Oh my goodness, that scared me. Chris Gall Jr. has become a member. Chris, holy crap, that scared me. My volume was up so high. Oh my God, I almost just had a heart attack. But Chris, it's a good heart attack because you're now a member, my friend. Welcome, welcome. If you go to the community tab on my channel, you'll find a link to the Discord. So definitely go to the community tab, scroll down a little bit. You'll see it there eventually. So if you're having problems, let me know. But Chris, welcome, my friend. Welcome, welcome. But yes, depth. This is an underrated thing when it comes to major league teams. Yes, it's always nice when you can add someone like Max Scherzer to go along with Jacob deGrom. But what if those guys get hurt, like Jacob deGrom last year? It really exposed the Mets. They had no depth. They had no one that could really step up, and it really showed. In the second half, they just completely plummeted in the second half. What happens when those guys go down? What happens when a guy needs to miss a start? What happens when all of those problems start to come up? The good teams that last, they're not just the talented teams. Yes, the cream always rises to the top, but you got to have depth to help you get through that long season. It just needs to happen. So I think this is really good that the Mets, according to this report, they're looking to prioritize this as well as pitching. I think they need to add a left-handed arm for that rotation. I've said this a million times. I feel like it's beating a dead horse at this point. Sean Manaea, go get him. This is a guy, he's not going to cost you a ton of prospects. He'll cost you a couple good ones, but he's not going to cost you top prospects. He won't cost you anyone in your top three. I definitely think someone, maybe one or two in the top 10. I think he is absolutely gettable for the Mets. Go get Sean Manaea. That would just be perfect. I think a lefty arm would really help that rotation out. Someone that can give you some innings. Now, if we're going back to John Heyman's tweet right here, the interesting thing here is that he says not just, I could see a pitcher. Could you go add Carlos Rodon too? Yes. For me personally, do I trust that arm? I don't know. The interesting part here is that he said a hitter. Very interesting. The Mets, if we go take a look at their team right now, I mean, we're looking a little cramped. You got a lot of guys looking for playing time. I mean, right now, you got Jeff McNeil slotted in at second base, Robinson Cano at DH. This makes sense. I definitely think you could, this is okay. But then you got guys like Dominic Smith, J.D. Davis. J.D. Davis was actually hitting really well last year, and then he got hurt. He missed a lot of time, came back. He had a good stat line overall, but it was only over 211 plate appearances. The home runs you would like to see come up a little bit. Now, the question is, who could be this significant hitter? To me, when I'm looking at these guys, when I'm looking at if I go to the unsigned guys, to me, someone that makes the most sense is Chris Bryant, just because he offers that flexibility. To me, Chris Bryant, I feel like, is one of the most one of the most valuable guys on this free agent market, not just because of the talent. but because of all the positions that he can play. And I think, I'm sorry to, be Giraffe Neck Robbie right now. I'm sorry to be Giraffe Neck Robbie, but it really showed last year. The Red Sox came into last year, you didn't really know what they were going to do. A lot of people were picking them, third, fourth place. And look how far they got. They were 2 wins away from a World Series. You want to know why? One big reason, because you had guys that could move around. They had flexibility on their roster. Not a lot of minor league depth. Not a lot of guys that could come up from the minors and really just really give you a significant production there. But when it came to guys that could move around, if a guy needed a day off, you could still slot in a good piece wherever, that guy was playing. I think personally, to me, the Red Sox were really good last year just because guys like Kike Hernandez could move around, Verdugo could move around in the outfield, so on. Chris Bryant, I think would really help this Mets team. I think if you put Bryant, and that they already made a really good move with Eduardo Escobar. This is a guy that can move around a little bit as well. Mark Canha, he can play all 3 outfield positions, so that's really going to help. Brandon Nimmo missed some time last year. Also adding Starling Marte is going to be really good. So I think I don't think you need to add Chris Bryant, but man, if you were able to, if money is not a thing, go throw some money at this guy. As of right now, their projected payroll, their estimated luxury tax payroll is at $271 million. That is bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. Max Scherzer making a nice, crisp $43 million. It's not too bad, I guess, but they're going to be really happy when Robinson Cano comes off the books. I'll tell you that. Don't look out for Robinson Cano. Could he end up having a pretty good season next year? We'll have to wait and see. So there's a lot of payroll here. This is basically the Dodgers last year. Could we see a $300 million payroll for the Mets? To me, if you don't care, if you're Steve Cohen, you're like, yes, throw the money everywhere. Give everyone all the money. And hand out all these $5 bills to people in New York. Go for it. If he doesn't care about it, go get Chris Bryant. Come on. This is a guy that can go, he's only going to improve your team. And then go, whatever. To me, I wouldn't be going crazy. I would not go after Carlos Rodon personally. I know maybe some Mets fans out there might think differently. I just don't trust the arm. And when it comes to the health of the Mets pitching staff, I don't know. I just saw what happened last year. Taijuan Walker had a bad second half. Carrasco, what's even going to happen with him? Scherzer, yes, adding Scherzer was great. But hey, dead arm towards the end of the year. Wonder Davy has become an all-star member. Wonder Davy, what's going on, my friend? Welcome, my friend. I appreciate you signing up for a membership. Wonder Davy, thank you so much, my friend. Go find the Discord link under the community tab on the channel, my friend. Thank you. But the Mets, they need depth. Is Carlos Rodon a good depth piece? Yes. He's going to make you're going to be adding talent with Carlos Rodon, obviously. Great numbers last year. But the arm was having problems. So if he's past those problems, if you feel like he's good to go, sure, go for it. So that, to me, I think out of these 2 tweets, this right here is the most important one. I think this is what the Mets need. Yes, get some pitching, get some depth. To me, Sean Manaea, that's the guy you want to get for the pitching staff. That's just my opinion. But let me know what you think down below in the comments. If you're the Mets, if you were Steve Cohen, if you're Billy Epler, who are you going to go after? What arms are you going to go after? Do you go after Chris Bryant? Do you go after someone else? Let me know down below in the comments. I'm also seeing Luis Castillo. To me, I think Luis Castillo might be a little too much for the Mets to get. Obviously, he would make them a lot better. I feel like teams like the Dodgers, they have more prospects to spend. You could maybe say the Rays, obviously, because the Rays have prospects for days. Would they want to acquire someone like Luis Castillo? I think that would be a really fun fit, personally. But I think teams with more prospects that are going to be able to get Luis Castillo easier. The Mets could get a deal done. I think it's when it comes down to it. I think, other teams have better prospects to give. And personally, I think the Mets should go after a lefty in the rotation. So, Luke 22, do the Mets go after Chapman? Could you? To me, I'd rather have Bryant because he moves around. He can go play left field. He can go play first, whatever. You know, he can go sell hot dogs in the stands. He can do it all. He can do everything. Here we go, everyone. Let's move on to our last story. I'm not going to take up too much more of your time tonight. Just a quick one tonight. Believe it or not, I'm actually going to go do some Uber here in a little bit. And I'm trying to make a few extra bucks here on the side. So, but one more story, a fun one. Let's get into this. Shohei Ohtani on the cover for MLB The Show 22. To me, I feel like this is just it's the right fit. I think this is the guy. Just an amazing season last year, a one-of-a-kind season, a season we haven't seen since Babe Ruth back in the early 1900s. To me, Shohei Ohtani, this just proves that Shohei Ohtani is now the face of baseball. Absolutely. Shohei Ohtani, this makes it official if it wasn't already official. This, to me, Shohei Ohtani, he's the face of the game. Taking a look here was the reveal from the MLB Twitter. Coming to shelves on April 5th. Hey, I was somehow able to get myself a PS5 a few months ago. I've been kind of slacking on the MLB The Show videos. I've done 2 rebuilds. If you haven't seen those, please go check them out. But I mean, this is going to motivate me a little bit more. You know, hey, to just sit my butt down and go play some MLB The Show, go do some rebuilds and whatever else. But to me, this was the right guy for the cover. I think you needed to have Shohei Ohtani in this cover. Sure, could you have had someone like Vlad Jr.? I mean, I'm sure there's some other guys on here as well. Could you have maybe had Bryce Harper, the National League MVP? But he's been on the cover before. Could you have even had maybe someone like Juan Soto? I'm going to make a prediction right now. I think Juan Soto is the next cover athlete for MLB The Show. I think Juan Soto is going to be on MLB The Show 23. That's my prediction. Sure, I mean, Tatis Jr. was just the most recent one. You know, honestly, you know, what I actually would like, I know people really love their cover stars. I get that. But, you know, I'll tell you, I'm a bit of a wrestling nerd as well. That's one thing if you don't know about me. I like a little bit of wrestling. I miss the Attitude Era from back in the day with The Rock, Stone Cold, The Undertaker, Triple H. Oh, the best time in wrestling. Nowadays, maybe not as great. But, you know, I miss, you know, the SmackDown versus Raw covers where you'd have multiple guys on the cover. You know, like SmackDown versus Raw 2008. You had The Undertaker, John Cena, Bobby Lashley. These were like the head honchos in wrestling at the time. You know, SmackDown versus Raw 2009. Yeah, hey, Shawn Michaels, Triple H on the cover. You know, hey, go back all the way back to SmackDown Shut Your Mouth with Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar, Triple H, Chris Jericho, Booker T. Even 2006, John Cena, Batista. You know, I'm just saying. Sully, I do think I put that new link. I'll repost it here in a little bit. But to me, I think MLB The Show, you could have maybe done multiple guys if you really wanted to. But I think Ohtani had just such a historic season last year. I think you needed to do Ohtani. To me, I mean, if you think about it, I mean, it's kind of, you know, he's 2 players in one. You got the offense, the offensive Ohtani, and then you got the pitching Ohtani. So I get, you know, multiple cover guys. I don't know. But, yeah, I think this is the right guy. I think so. So if we take a look here, the one thing I've always wondered, you know, with MLB The Show, I've always wondered, have they had that Madden curse where the guys that are on the Madden cover in years prior, when you're on the cover for Madden, you either get hurt the next year or you just have a bad season the next year. Is that the same thing with MLB The Show? Well, let's go take a look here. So MLB The Show. Oh, also, I want to point out one more thing before I do get into this. It's also looking like for the deluxe edition for MLB The Show. Oh, Nicholas, that's a good one as well. Ronald Acuna, I would love that. It's also looking like for the deluxe edition, Jackie Robinson was on the cover last year. There was a leak today that for Nintendo, that Derek Jeter is looking like he's going to be the deluxe edition cover athlete. So Derek Jeter has been on so many covers for baseball games. Like, it kind of blows my mind how many covers he's been on. But taking a look here. So let's take a look. David Ortiz, the first MLB The Show. I remember I had a hat for MLB The Show 2006. I don't remember why I had that hat, but David Ortiz, he did pretty well that year. in 2006. He had a historic season that year. David Wright, I feel like, did good in 2007. Let's actually go take a look. David Wright. 2007. Was David Wright cursed in 2007? No, he actually did very well that year. Wow, what a great year he had. Finished 4th in MVP voting. Hit 325 with a 416 on base, 546 slugging. Here we go. Let's keep going down here. We got Ryan Howard in 2008. How about Ryan Howard? I feel like he did pretty good that year. I can't fully remember. Ryan Howard in 2008. Yep, he was still very good that year. 2nd in MVP, 48 homers, 146 RBIs. Ryan Howard was not cursed. Dustin Pedroia. Oh, I loved when Dustin Pedroia got on the cover. That was awesome. I love that. I believe he was also very good in 2009. Let's go to Dustin Pedroia. Well, we know recently with Fernando Tatis Jr., he had a really good season last year. He was getting hurt a little bit, but overall had a very good season. Pedroia, 2009. Yeah, this guy was phenomenal in 2009. Very good. So moving on down the list here, Joe Mauer. He was actually on back-to-back covers. I forgot about that. So he was on 2010 and 2011. How did Joe Mauer do in both years? Taking a look. 2010, 2011. Yeah, so it seems like to me, I can keep going down this list. Actually, let me check Yasiel Puig in 2015. Was he good that year? I can't remember. Oh, you're killing me, internet. What are we doing? All right, Yasiel Puig in 2015. Actually, had a bit of a down year compared to that 2014. So that 2014 year, he was just nuts. And then 2013, he was nuts too. So let me go back here. So that was 2015. Josh Donaldson, I feel like, was also very good in 2016. Oh yeah, they had Griffey in 2017. I forgot about that. Aaron Judge. Ooh, actually, maybe Judge is actually someone. I feel like Judge was actually quite hurt in 2018. Oh, no, he wasn't. No, he still did really good that year. He did, he did miss time that year. He did miss time. He only played 112 games. So it looks like Aaron Judge had a little bit of MLB The Show, got cursed a little bit that year. Bryce Harper, 2019, pretty solid that year. Javier Baez, 2020, but that was the shortened season. Tatis Jr. was good last year. I don't think we have anything to worry about with Shohei Ohtani. The one thing with Shohei Ohtani, the only concern I have with Ohtani, can he keep up his durability? The durability has been an issue. He's had the Tommy John prior. He's been able to hit for the most part in his career so far, in his young career so far. But he has not really been able to pitch all that much except for last year. So if we take a look, obviously won Rookie of the Year in 2018. 2019, he had a good stat line offensively in 106 games. He did actually struggle in 2020, but again, COVID season. So I think the only thing with Ohtani that we need to worry about is, can he just stay on the field? This is a guy, he's doing a lot. He's hitting, he's pitching. I think they've probably found a sweet spot when it comes to how to manage him. So hopefully they can keep that going. So, but yeah, it looks like there is no curse when it comes to MLB The Show. However, I was told that Fuzzy, he actually put up a cover where, this is a guy that definitely could have made an argument for the cover. And actually someone made an idea of what this cover could have looked like for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Vlad Jr. had a very good season last year. I definitely think Vlad Jr. could have been on the cover. But yes, someone actually, they made up of what a cover could have looked like for Vlad Jr. Someone actually just showed me it, and or they just sent me the link. Here we go. Let's take a look at what it is. Oh my God, what is going on? Oh, get that off my screen. Oh my goodness, everyone, I'm so sorry. That was just sent to me. I apologize. Everyone, I'm going to get out of here for tonight. Just a quick stream for tonight. We just had a little bit of lockout news to talk about. We had a little bit of Mets talk to talk about. And hey, MLB The Show, Shohei Ohtani on the cover for this year's game. Everyone, I'm going to get out of here. Everyone, if you can, before I do get out of here, if anyone's new, hit that subscribe button. Everyone, please hit that like button on the way out. Hit the bell notification. Share the content if you can. My 2 newest members, thank you for signing up to become a member on the channel. Really appreciate that. Everyone, I'm going to get out of here. Have yourself a good night. The MLB and the Players Association, they will be meeting tomorrow, so most likely we will be going live tomorrow night to talk about whatever happens tomorrow in those meetings. So look out for a stream tomorrow night. Everyone, have yourself a good night, and I'll talk to you next time.